All right, Figueiredo versus Moreno. Now that that's done, who's better? Who's better? I've seen these guys 4 times they fought, and it's very hard to say. Like, let me just give you an example. If we had a common opponent, if one of them was to beat the common opponent, you would think the other one would beat the common opponent. But they're very different fighters. You know, we sit back and they have a draw, so we do a rematch. So we do a rematch, but we're pretty sure going into the rematch that Figueiredo is going to beat up Moreno, only because we think in the first match, Moreno overperformed. Turns out Moreno comes out, shuts him off completely, wins every round, every minute, every sequence, takes his belt away. All right, great. For reasons unknown, we're going to go to part 3. There was nothing about part 2 that called for a part 3, but we're going to go to part 3 anyway. Well, turns out Figueiredo, pretty damn good himself. Grabs his belt back, interim championship with Kaikar France from Moreno along the way, and it gets us to tonight. So when I ask you who's better, like, let me just give you an example of what I'm saying. I feel as though Moreno is the better boxer. Left hands, right hands. Favors Moreno. But if you look at Figueiredo, his Muay Thai sure seems on point. I mean, what he can do with his feet sure seems on point. Moreno's jabs and crosses right to the head. That's going to do some damage, and you at home are going to be able to see it. Figueiredo slipping outside, going to the body. It takes a lot more practice. It's a lot more effective. You don't quite get the same response in terms of the oohs and the ahs, but boy, it sure shows good technique. Looked like Moreno surprised him a little bit with the wrestling. Looked like some of the submission, at least attempts, favored Figueiredo. I mean, I'm playing this game. You can go back and forth. At the end of the day, I'm just glad these guys are done. It looks like they've got some resolution. There's a couple of things within that contest that I think are noteworthy. Figueiredo, it appears, believed he was poked in the eye. Either way, Figueiredo very clearly signaled to the official that he wanted it stopped. Now, I think that the official very accurately interpreted that to mean you want it stopped, you want a timeout because you believe you were fouled. I did not see a foul. I'm not going to call it a timeout. If I stop this thing, I have to stop the entire contest. I think that was the exchange that they were having. Either way, Figueiredo could not have been clearer to tell the official he wanted it stopped, and the official didn't stop it. I think that needs addressed to some degree. And possibly nothing more than what I've already laid out, which is, yeah, he wanted it stopped because he thought he was fouled. I didn't see it. I wasn't going to call a foul. If I stopped the contest at this point, I have to stop the match in its entirety. Either way, the athlete signaled to the official extremely clearly, stop. Rules are very clear on what you have to do there, which is you have to stop. So then we have an announcer that gets in the ring after the fight to let the world know that there was no poke to the eye. Now, that's the second pay-per-view in a row we've seen somebody with a level of authority, meaning they're holding a microphone, tell the audience what it is that they saw and tell the fighters what just happened. Might have been right. Maybe the guy with the microphone 2 times in a row has been correct. Either way, I'm noting that it happened. He did not poke you in the eye. Do not claim that he poked you in the eye. Okay, great. I can't show you on the video where he poked me in the eye. Do you see my eye? My eye is closed. That doesn't happen from a punch. It happens from a poke. I mean, what do you want to do here? Your witness, at the end of the day, doesn't make a single bit of difference because was other guy claiming that it affected the contest? Not that I saw. And if there was any good news, it's not just that we have a resolution in Moreno and Figueiredo and that hopefully we do not have to see this match again. The good news is that Figueiredo has announced that he's going to go up. And that actually is very good news. I was impressed that Figueiredo made weight. I know he's had problems in the past making weight, but I also know a lot of his training goes into beating the scale as opposed to gaining and learning techniques. And I know that's very common for a lot of fighters, but those fighters don't have the longevity in their career. When you have somebody as good as Figueiredo and you want to see him extend his career and you want to see him be viable and you want to see that for years to come, he can't be leaving the energy on the scale. So I think that that's a real positive. And who he's going to fight next, look, let's have a very open mind to that. That Figueiredo looked great tonight. I think Moreno's the best fighter in the world. So everything appears to be as it should be. What do we do moving forward? Moving forward, Moreno's going to need a new partner. But also moving forward, I have a very open mind what Figueiredo is going to do. He appears that he's going to do it at 135 pounds. I think he instantly is going to move into the top 10. I know that he deserves to instantly move in to the top 10. Will a single 35-pounder call him out? Highly unlikely. But who should he fight? Who do you want to see him fight? Now is the time for you to speak up.